Hi, I'm Laurel Douglas, and I'm here to tell you about our first year as ETSI BC. As you may know, we launched ETSI BC at the BC EDA conference last year, and it was the result of a lot of hard work and consultations. We launched a new strategic plan, and I'd like to give you some information about what we've been up to in our first year. So as you know, the economic trusts were created by the province in 2006, and we're one of 3 trusts in the province, which have been set up to support economic development. Since our inception, we've invested over $67 million in projects worth over $250 million in our region, and $7 million of that were to the 6 post-secondary institutions in our region, and another $10 million have been to local governments, First Nations, and nonprofits. Our region's population is over 750,000. About half of that is urban, and the other half is rural, and that half is split pretty evenly between the Thompson Okanagan and Columbia Kootenay. And we're also home to 32 different First Nations belonging to 8 different groups and types of tribal councils. Here's some of the photos of our friendly board members, and here's the friendly ETSI BC team. Most of you will have the most contact with either Mary or me or Paul Weist or Renata King, our project consultants. Here are the 5 strategic pillars that we launched last year, and our funding has been based on these strategic directions. And here's some highlights. Pillar 2 is focused on the Rural Business and Community Recovery Program, which was launched last year. And we've contracted with 27 different host organizations, mostly chambers of commerce, community futures, and other active agencies. And we've got 36 community and business recovery advisors throughout the region and 2 network advisors. That's the green portion of the funding that we've been able to contribute in our region this year. And that's the breakdown of all the different funding streams. So in total, we funded over $3.1 million. That's gone to 85 different projects worth over $8 million in our region. And one of the highlights for me is how many Indigenous-led projects there are. That's almost 4 times the number of Indigenous-led projects that we had funded up until 2021. And our focus on small communities is shown here. 40 of our projects were funded in communities with less than 5,000, and another 40 projects were carried out in communities with between 5 and 25,000 people. So this is the geographic spread of our funding, both in the Columbia and the Columbia Kootenay and the Thompson Okanagan regions. And the other graph shows you sort of high approval rates, both in terms of dollar values and in terms of number of projects. So in the last year, we also hosted 21 training events and had almost 600 people join us at those. And we also launched the ECDEV data visualization platform, our region, and that's a complement to the individual communities' data visualization platforms that they would have on their websites. Some of the topics that we covered in our workshops included economic development, Indigenous engagement, business continuity planning, and using data to your advantage. And some of our partners delivering with those workshops include BC EDA, Community Futures BC, and also Community Futures East Kootenay. We also supported the EDPN, the Columbia the Kootenay Boundary Economic Development Practitioners Network, and we funded an Okanagan Economic Summit, and we hope to fund a similar project like that in the Thompson-Nicola region next year. So we've done a lot of things to support the economic development ecosystem, which we're very proud of, and here are some of the words that stand out from comments that we've received from our funding partners and stakeholders over the last year. If you go to the stories page of the TBC website, you'll see lots of stories about projects that we funded. Here's some examples here. We did a partnership with MyTax, which I think is able to have funded at least 10 research projects in the region as well. And here are some of the business and community recovery program advisors that we've been hosting throughout the year, funding throughout the year. Some of the post-secondary projects include entrepreneurship and co-op employment initiatives in the different post-secondary institutions in our region. And here are some comments from stakeholders and partners, really talking about the diverse and passionate group, the knowledge and the contributions that we've been making, how valuable the webinars have been, and how great it's been to be able to engage with businesses and help attract and retain them. So we're pleased to celebrate the first anniversary operating as ETSI, and we hope you'll join us in that celebration. Next steps include our next funding intake, which opens on April 1st, and we hope everybody will register on our Smart Simple grant application platform. Follow us on LinkedIn and check out our website, which has lots of stories about projects we funded and lots of news. Before I go, I'd just like to thank so many people who partnered with us over the last year. It's really an amazing list, and we'd just like to thank all of you for your contributions and help in supporting ETSI, and we look forward to continuing to work together to build strong communities and strong economy in the region. But remember, if you leave out the BC and ETSI, you owe me $1. Thanks very much and have a great conference.